Hello, everyone on the internet. Welcome, citizens of the four nations and beyond, to another thrilling episode of Trivial Debates. This is episode 82 on April 28th, 2004. 2024, not 2004. Jesus Christ. I'm bombing already. I'm your host, Stephen Waters, and tonight we're bending the very fabric of reality with our esteemed contestants. First up is Pat King, the location whisperer of the Nova Scotia tribe, who can find a hidden oasis even in the most desolate landscapes. Welcome to the show, Pat.
Happy to be here.
Yes, I almost read pause for Pat to speak. Next, we have Andy Crowley. Am I saying that right?
Perfect. Wonderful.
All right. The lyrical earthbender from Bay State of Massachusetts, whose rhymes hit harder than a seismic tremor and flow smoother than a river carving through a stone. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Great to see you boys. This is going to be good. I'm excited.
Happy to have you. Exciting. And finally, we have Sean Tanktop, the airy nomad mixing beats and serving high drinks in the bustling streets of Chicago, whose words dance on the wind like leaves in a gentle breeze, guiding us through the currents of reactions and today debates. Please welcome Sean to the show.
Incredible intro. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here, y'all.
All right. I'm happy to have you all here. This is my first time judging, so I'm nervous.
Hey, man, the first time is always a special one, you know? Like, don't worry. It's going to be, and we're going to make it as comfortable for you as we can, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm going to try to be a problem.
There we go. Right on.
I'm going to do my best to be a problem.
All right. So gather round, for the elements are alive with anticipation. In this special Avatar-themed episode, our bending masters will navigate the realms of debate across 6 elemental categories, each as dynamic as bending form itself. Or a bending form. From the icy tundras of the Water Tribe to the fertile earth of the Earth Kingdom, and even soaring high with the airbenders of the air nomads, our contestants are primed and ready to showcase their bending debate prowess. But before we unleash the tempest of debate, let's take a glimpse at the battleground that lies ahead. We'll journey through the realms of movies, TV, music, sports, history, and our ever mysterious wildcard category, each offering its own unique challenges and opportunities for our contestants to shine, and I look forward to it. Each contestant will have 1 minute for an opening remark to explain their choice answers. Then we'll have 4 minutes opening exhibition for all contestants to win the presented category, with the best presented argument being decided by me, Stephen Waters, the host of the show. You guys ready for this stuff? I'm not sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah, like I swear like a sailor. So like, should I keep that? Should I?
You're absolutely allowed to swear.
Okay, thank you.
I was going to say, because if we're not allowed to
Fucking awesome,
yeah. Let's do this. Let's fucking do this.
All right. So what I meant
was,
are you ready for this shit?
There you go, man. Absolutely.
So grab your bending scrolls, summon your inner spirits, and prepare for a showdown of epic proportions. It's time to let the elements guide us as we embark on this thrilling journey of debate through the Avatar-verse. Welcome to Trivial Debates, episode 82. Let the bending battles begin. There we go. So, our first category is movies. If you, all of you, you guys, could pick a side character from Avatar: The Last Airbender for a standalone animated sequel to the original series, who would it be? Pat, you're up first.
I went with my girl, Smellerby. Smellerby, awesome backstory. Well, and a little bit mysterious still. Became an unintended kind of hesitant leader of the freedom fighters after some tragedy. I think there's still a lot to be mined there, you know, a lot of gender stuff going on. I think, and entertaining as a character too. I think it'd be a solid pick. Have some freedom fighters, or like the formation of the freedom fighters. Get a real Avengers freedom fighters universe going on.
All right.
Do we have a timer?
We do. But
okay. Oh, I still have
time.
so many seconds. Listen, I make points so hard, so fast. I think there's just a lot of ground to be covered with Smellerby's like gender identity and the way that they kind of go through the world. And everyone loves a reluctant hero, someone who has been forced to step into the role. And I think the Freedom Fighters episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender were some of the better ones, especially with like Jet and Katara and the passing.
All right.
That's my time, baby.
That is an excellent answer. I also love how dirty she is. All right, so Andy,
gross little weirdo.
Yeah. All right, my turn. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so I was gonna go with Uncle Iroh. I just feel like Iroh has something that not a lot of the other characters have, in that you almost instantly gravitate towards his warmth and his presence. He's just someone that, obviously, it's definitely amongst the community. I think a lot of people feel like that way. But to me, it just really spoke out, and I'm someone that's very emotional, very emotionally driven. So he connects with me on that level. He's someone that is never afraid to show his true emotions, no matter what. And I really respect that. And I think that we could really get, you get a lot of insight, especially as they go through the they talk about the old guys and how but I feel like we could get more. I feel like there could be, especially even like where we see, or we could see him going and seeing the dragons and how that whole thing came to fruition. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I feel like we should definitely get a side movie as an Iroh.
All right. Uncle Iroh is my dad. Sean, you're next.
Oh my God. You guys want to switch? No, anyway. All right. I'm going with June, an Avatar story. As an Earth Nation descendant, we follow a young girl with her thief mother who especially enjoyed robbing rich, noble households and using her spoils to help the fledgling war-torn Earth Nation and her bounty hunter father. Her first bounty, she learns the meaning of mercy and collecting the payments in a myriad of ways that can be and collects a payment in a myriad of ways. And sometimes, like, even though it can't be cash, you can get yourself a little baby Nyla, like the little the weird, Wolverine dog that she rides or whatever. We get some baby Nyla stuff. Get out of here, baby Yoda. We got baby Nyla. We get some cute bonding adventures, but she happens upon an argument with her parents. Her mother and dad are quarreling because she's stealing from the rich guys that he hangs out with and gets bounties from. Sorry, thank you so much.
All right, that's your time, but a very good answer as well. All right, I guess we debate now, right? Is that how this works? Is this the trivial debate part of the debate? I think it is. So why don't you guys all just yell at each other first?
I gotta be honest. Sean. I can't. I have to debate against myself because originally I wanted June. So I was kind
right?
of just like.
Originally, I wanted Iroh.
Listen, I'm talking about a smoking hot. She'll be younger. I think, obviously, but we get to do some fun stuff where we get she's sitting there reminiscing, kind of looking at stuff. It's oh, that reminds me of a job that me and my dad pulled or whatever, and then we can kind of go back and you can sort of build it throughout the whole thing. Yeah. I always like the fact that because ATLA is so good at kind of interweaving contemporary things that are on the minds of kids. I always what I would do if I was pitching the show was that she would have her mom who's on the outskirts of the law, but is definitely a fuck you to the man type of thing. And her dad, who is a bounty hunter, he's taking jobs from whatever. All of a sudden he's taking jobs from the rich and powerful, the types of motherfuckers that she is stealing from. And then they put a bounty out on her. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we can have this whole thing where it's this whole idea of it could be a really cool story about these about like, you know, like when your parents, like how kids can like just like deal with the fact that like their parents just aren't compatible. Like it's not like a huge like you know, it's sometimes like it's like mommy and daddy just got to go away, like, you know what I mean, like, or we just got to split and we got to have two different things kind of going on here. And I think it was the early, that was like the precipice of like the idea or whatever it was. And then like, I don't know, dude, it's June, it's baby Nyla, it's like, dude, it's like, get fucked, Grogu, like we got a new fucking, we got a new baby in town, you know.
I think it's a harder sell because we know that June becomes a bad person. We know that June, like, I think it's harder to watch the birth of a villain, and I'd be curious to see. I'd be curious. Save the world. I'd be curious to see Iroh committing atrocities during the original Fire Nation War.
Fair.
Oh my god. You know, he kind of has a redemption arc where he becomes wiser and goes through the. But I feel like
seeing
with
the things
Smellerby,
he did.
Yeah, to get to that wisdom, you know, that's really well earned.
Sure, right.
But I think what's something really interesting about Smellerby and the Freedom Fighters is that they were children. They were completely innocent.
Yeah.
And they were forced into, you know, you'd get like a real Grave of the Fireflies situation. It'd be a lot of tragedy, it'd be a lot of bad things happening to good, innocent people. And then watching how they develop from there, being forced to do bad things with a good heart in them. As opposed to starting from that point of being like really awful and then earning the goodness down the road, you know?
Yeah. I'm gonna say that mine's the best just because like a supreme a definite lack of on-screen war crimes. Like, you know what I mean? we can you know what I'm saying? And that's what ATLA does. Like, it's one of those things that's like implied, and that was what was so fucked up about, or what was so interesting, I think, about the live action, was that we were kind of seeing that stuff a lot more viscerally, like the human toll or whatever it was.
Right. It's easier to distance yourself from it when it's animated.
1000%. Where you're just like, oh, look at Monkey Yasu with all of the, you know, like the the corpses around him, and you're like, he just sucked the air out of the cave and killed everybody. Like, you can get so gnarly with it if you want to.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah,
I feel like you'd be doing it doing an injustice if you were to try and do that live action without taking those. You know what I mean? I feel like
100%.
Right. You have to add that element.
All right, fellas, that's your time. This is actually more difficult than I thought it would be. It was like, Sean is cleaning up, he wins, and then Pat comes out of nowhere being like, but imagine Uncle Iroh's war crimes. And I was like, whoa, yeah, that's true. I should imagine those war crimes.
I mean, he was called the Dragon of the West for a reason, and you have to assume it's not for a good reason.
But then also your points on Smellerby having a very interesting arc in the beginning of their tale made me think, like, is this better suited for a movie? The question is, what is the best movie? And Sean, I think that June would be excellent for a television show, like a series where she is doing bounties. We have an episodic sort of formula that turns into an arcing story. Right. And I so much want to give you the point. So that's why I am. Sean wins.
Oh my God. Here we go. Well, listen, we could pull a Disney Plus and just retrofit it and turn the TV show into a movie, as opposed to what they were fucking doing for a long time, which is turning movies into TV shows, but not like fully expressing them. You know what I mean? We'll compact it.
We can compact it into a movie.
We'll crush that motherfucker.
I also want to say that both of the other answers are stimulating to me.
I would watch.
I would love to watch both of those as well.
100%.
I think, Sean, you made the best arguments for your character, and as much as Uncle Iroh is my dad, he's not my dad today. Get out of here, Iroh.
No. We're hanging out with mommy today. Like with June, for sure. Like,
all right, we're going on to the next round, which is television. Which animated TV series from the 90s would be the most fitting for a crossover with Avatar: The Last Airbender? Additionally, you could provide a premise for such an episode. Andy, you're up first. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So I think that there was probably a couple of other ideas I went with, but I went with Dragon Ball Z, probably in part because it's still very, very hard in my heart. Toriyama, RIP to a legend. I just feel like there could be something exhilarating with, don't get me wrong, I understand Super Saiyans are incredibly powerful and they have all of these energy moves or whatever, but I just feel like a hardo, like a great earthbender like Toph or Boomy could really give a Super Saiyan a run for his fucking money. So I feel like sort of crossover where we're having, I don't know what type of crisis with the Earth, but you find a Toph at the center of it all, and they've gone bad or something. You know what I mean? And you find out why they've gone bad, and now we have Goku and friends trying to defeat this Earthbender, something they have no idea. They've never seen anything like it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Channeling their own enemy is one thing, but using the Earth, come on. You know what I mean?
That's your time, Andy. Excellent answer. I love Dragon Ball Z. The main question is, how long would those episodes be? All right, so let's go on to Sean.
All right. Sucked into a wormhole in the spirit realm, Aang, Toph, and Momo land themselves in 95 New York City with the gargoyles. They happen onto the gargoyle cast. I'm actually like, this is also going to be like maybe a little bit of a tough sell because it's good. I want it to happen right after Elisa was fresh off getting shot by Broadway in that insane gun episode that they did in season 1. But I think that, like, obviously things are a bit tense. Goliath and Hudson, they arrive and immediately are fascinated with Toph and her earth bending ability, the fact that she can bend stones, which is what they are made of and everything. It also could be a really interesting thing because they've also come across a cache of basically a bunch of remnants of old like gargoyles that have been broken apart, and they were trying to get her to reform them and something like that, kind of rebuild their community, which that would be something. And then Aang goes to find Broadway, who's obviously, he's just shot Elisa, and so he's very shaken up. And Aang, who holds like the ultimate gun, you know what I mean? Like, because like, hey, I know what it's like to wield crazy power. I know what it's like to wield something that's dangerous, and they can identify as like heroes in their regret and their responsibility and stuff. So,
Sean, great answer. Interesting answer.
Oh, yeah.
Much like Uncle Iroh is my dad, Keith David is also my dad.
Dude, absolutely, man. Hell yeah, dude.
You're up next.
Okay. I think this is just, the answer is in the bag here for me. It was the Pirates of Dark Water. Anyone familiar? Yes? No? Because the Pirates of Dark Water, incredibly underrated show by Hanna-Barbera that was in the 90s, incredibly stacked voice cast. And in my mind, these two shows are happening in the same world already, just on opposite sides of the Earth. So you've got Avatar: The Last Airbender taking part in the Eastern continents, and then you've got the Pirates of Dark Water, which is essentially their Western equivalent. So you have, the Asiatic provinces and your Columbuses and your North Americans, because not only are there hybrid animals in this, one of the main characters of Pirates of Dark Water, Nibbler, is a monkey bird. So we already know that those hybrid animals exist. And Tula, one of the main characters, is an ecomancer. So we already know that that elemental magic exists. So there are so many overlaps here.
You got 20 seconds, brother.
Oh, hell yeah. There are a ton of overlaps. And it didn't get a fitting end either. It was only 20-something episodes. It never actually got finished. And it's due for a comeback. And I think it just fits together so perfectly. It makes sense in my mind completely.
Wow. Very, very interesting. Never heard of it, but
I knew it would be a hard sell because most people haven't.
I like everything you said, though. All right, so we're gonna go into the debate part now. I don't know. I almost put my opinion in there. Like I'm the judge. I need to be impartial.
I don't want to be tipping the scales or anything like that just yet. Absolutely.
All right, go. Have at me.
You. Okay, so has seriously no one on this panel ever seen or heard of
So
Pirates?
that's what I was gonna,
dude. I'm getting.
I was gonna say if I could get, if I could get some more insight as to Pirate Water.
Okay, so you have this.
I think that doesn't count against you though, at least as far as sellability of the thing. But like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Listen,
no bullshit.
They made a Super Nintendo game, so it wasn't.
No.
Completely unknown.
Respect.
And okay, and listen to the voice cast. You got Frank Welker, Hector Alonso, Jodie Benson, who played Ariel, Peter Cullen, Tim Curry, Jim Cummings, motherfucking Winnie the Pooh. Like that's part of the reason the show got canceled, because it was so expensive to make.
Right.
They had top tier talent.
Yeah.
And you've got Prince Ren, who's looking for these artifacts in the world of Myr, and the dark water is this weird elemental thing that kind of floats through the ocean and swallows up ships. So it's almost got this supernatural element to it as well. And Tula, the ecomancer, can manipulate plants and water.
The only thing about it, though, honestly, is the fact that you would essentially have to just relaunch this entire thing. You're essentially bringing just an entire new group of characters to this world that has a. It's like the Venn diagram is getting smaller and smaller on like the people that would like understand this to be a big event. And I'm not saying that it couldn't be good, but I think as far as like a selling of a thing like a crossover, whereas like Gargoyles, like imagine like charging like Aang flying with Goliath, Hudson, everybody, you know what I mean? Like you get those two, you get a mashup of like the two themes or whatever is like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like I think that there's just amazing potential for that, but I'm fascinated with this world.
I would argue that you would be able to incorporate Pirates of Darkwater so easily by having these like Western, almost like colonizers or pirates just like washing up on shore, landing on shore, and you can integrate them into the show without anyone knowing what Pirates of Darkwater is.
For sure,
they're just like a Western presence.
Right.
And they're like, oh my God, like, where are you from? There's another part of the world. What the fuck? Like having Columbus land.
I think that the story point is interesting. I think as far as like the sellability of a concept of a crossover, like when like, oh my God, like, like they're talking to one another. I can't believe it. Like everybody's gonna be like, oh my God, who are these guys? You know what I mean? Like, and that's the only, I'm just thinking with a producer brain on shit like that. But like, I think that the mechanics of it sound like are cool. Like I think just as far as like when the crossover thing is for the cheering, like we didn't go to like what was it, Spider-Man No Way Home for him to like fight like a variant of Spider-Man that we have never seen on screen before. You know what I mean? Like that we don't have that emotional connection to and shit. And so like that would be my only thing. I think it's a dope ass fucking premise, but it's a hard sell. But
if anything, if I can get some people to watch Pirates of Darkwater by doing this, I'll concede the point if you guys go and watch Pirates of Darkwater. Yeah, I got it. Because the show is so good.
Yeah, no, 100%.
That was my goal.
I trust your opinion.
Yeah, and the Dragon Ball thing. I mean, like Dragon Ball. I mean, obviously, I think it's a good sell. I just think that it's going to be. I don't know. It'd be good for Toph just because everybody's just going to be yelling the whole time, and she's great at hearing and shit. So, like,
Andy, I need you to tell me about Dragon Ball. Tell me about Dragon Ball.
Yeah. I just think all of the Avatar characters would be murdered immediately. They would not stand a chance.
Well, yeah.
Right.
It probably, in reality, I tried in my mind to be like, oh, I think Toph with Airbending could probably defend everybody. Like,
are you selling a versus story?
Even if Toph or anyone could. I don't know if it's a versus story. I really just love Dragon Ball Z, and in this time, 90s cartoons, I was like, all I came to mind was Dragon Ball Z, so I got you. Something off of it. But in reality, Goku's instant transmissioning right behind any of them and snapping their necks immediately. So there won't be, it wouldn't be much of a battle, but I think it could turn into something cool.
Although the only other thing that I would do is that we would have to, again, because you ask any weeb out there, they're just like, we don't need any more of this confusing Avatar with actual anime. Like I feel like the war that would be brewing online with that shit, because I just know that people get super heated about that.
That would be that's true.
That would be my only. That would be my mark against it. That would be my mark against it.
Yeah, Western versus.
Yeah, but my God, in my opinion, it's all over now, right?
His opinion from
there.
Yeah. Are we just stuck on
time, guys?
Yeah, my opinion goes.
No, Andy, I think you made a good point at the end, which is that it could be interesting to have a versus. A versus would be interesting. The other ones were not necessarily versus, but I don't know, man. You guys really sold me on all three of these ideas. I would love to see the Avatar team fight the Dragon Ball Z team in my brain. I want to see that. I want to see some Saiyan bending action. Oh, yeah. But I think, Pat, man, I think you really sold me on a cartoon I've never seen before. Sean, you made some really good points about marketability, but like this isn't marketability. This is what would make the most sense to me as a crossover. And like you really made me feel like the pirates of Darkwater exist already in the Avatar world. You've sold me on that idea.
And
Like I was saying earlier, you win this round. So.
Yes, this is I made a tabletop role-playing game of this show. Like, I mean, I'm hardcore into Pirates of Darkwater.
You love the Darkwater.
I need to preach the message.
All right. Okay, so this round is music. Which song from the series would make for the best stage play?
Sorry, I forgot to mention one thing prior to starting. Production note. What we're gonna have you do is, you guys, when you say the name of your song, I have a clip to play, and then you proceed with your arguments.
Okay.
So say name, I play clip, we watch it, you say argument. We'll
Got you.
that way.
I thought he was gonna be like, you have to sing it. You have to sing your song.
You have to
in its entirety.
Yeah, so I'm gonna disappear. Hopefully I won't have any glitches over here.
All right. So first up is Sean.
All right, I am going to it's going to be what was it? The song "Set My Lines by the Riverbed," sung by Tho of the Foggy Water Tribe.
Set my lines by the riverbed, caught 10 fish and I killed them dead. Cut them and gut them and I tossed the heads in the water to keep them cat gators fed.
Absolutely. Wow. Goddamn right. No, so I mean, like, we all know that like country music is having a crazy moment right now. You know, it's like some of the big like you know, Beyonce's like taking it over and shit like that. Morgan Wallace is fucking going crazy. Like, the shit is like popping the fuck off. I say that we set this thing with, again, like, but so we have like that bedrock of like that you know, that background, right? You know, and yeah, I think that as far as this translating to a play, you got a single location, just a couple of guys out there on the river. It's a very contemplative, existential type of time. We can roll into like any number of topics about life. You get like a cool, like, blue collar working man's kind of appeal. Like, does it truly matter in the, like, as far as like how we define like our lives as success and failures by whether or not we get this catfish or not? It can go comedy, it can go drama, it can go dramedy, it can do anything that you need it to do out there. But it's basically Waiting for Godot, but with a bunch of swamp hicks who can waterbend, and can, but also like feel the earth, and you know, like can hear on the other side of the world. That's what that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Sean, you know how to paint a picture. All right, let's go to Pat.
All right, I went with "Don't Fall in Love with a Traveling Girl" by Chung.
Don't fall in love with the traveling girl. She'll leave you broken heart. Hey, river people.
Hey. Okay, first off, I love me some Chung. I think we know where they got his namesake from.
Yeah.
But also, Don't Fall in Love with the Traveling Girl. He's got so many great songs in that episode. Secret Tunnel, Don't Let the Cave Get You Down. And it brought to mind Hades Town, which is a concept album made by Anais Mitchell with Annie DeFranco, and Justin Vernon was on it, which they already made into a successful Broadway show. And so I feel Chung is telling a story throughout that entire episode about their journey through the cave and their experiences. So I think my boy Chung easily has a folk opera in him that could turn into something on Broadway. So, you know, it's going to play Ba Sing Se for sure. He's already got a troupe of actors and singers and musicians. It just makes, in my mind, the most sense as a stage play, because they're already traveling troubadours. You know, they can put that stuff together easy.
Wow. Pat,
I don't even need
had
the
me
last few
at
seconds.
With time on the clock too.
Yeah. You had me at hey, river people.
Hey, river people.
All right, Andy, you're up next.
All right, so I have Leaves from the Vine by Uncle Iroh.
Leaves from the vine, falling so slow. like fragile tiny shells drifting in the foam. Little soldier boy, come marching home. Brave soldier boy comes marching home.
I need a drink after that.
This
Jesus
guy's trying
Christ.
to make us cry.
Yeah,
I'm crying over
honestly,
here.
can we get real?
I need a
Jesus,
minute.
It's so exceptional.
I'm
that
actually
man,
crying.
I swear.
You son of a bitch.
I was just gonna say might have just shed a tear right there. That and that goes to tell you just how Gyro is. But so to the point, also I want to say to Pat, I love that he just brought up Hadestown because I love plays, and so when I originally looked at this question, immediately, not that Miss Saigon has anywhere near the same premise of what this would, but I thought of a Miss Saigon type of setting, and I just could have instantly put Iroh's, loss of his son and what that meant to the future of his life versus where he came from before that and all the travesty and God knows what he did. I just felt like it could really make a compelling story. And once again, anything that gets your emotions running that fast, like just a little song, man, come on, it would be great. So I knew that would be a great play premise when I heard that.
All right. Andy.
And a good title too. It's a good title of a play. Leaves on the Vine.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like
very good. I'm crying. You're crying. We're all crying. So let's talk about it.
We're all crying.
Uncle Iroh is my sad dad.
Yeah, no shit. I mean,
he's my sad daddy.
That's
like, that is a tough. I mean, like the only thing that I could say because I think obviously the emotional cachet that we have with Iroh and all that stuff, we're already invested. That's selling out on Broadway or off Broadway, no matter what, right? The only thing is, I guess, so like, what is the precipice of, like, do we end with Liu Tang dying? Like, are we going like crazy, like Sean O'Casey, like you're gonna hate your life after this shit?
Yeah,
like, what's the
going
breadth
tragic
of the story?
opera,
right? Yeah, which is like, I think
I'm thinking
totally
impossible. I'm thinking cumulative.
Okay.
Well, I'm thinking cumulative story. I'm thinking we see Iroh doing dirty. We see Iroh being the dragon of the West. We see him doing those things. We see the birth of his son. We see what that means to him, and then we see his loss, the loss of that.
Are you saying we bookend that story with that song? That would be amazing.
Right. Yeah. I guess.
We could.
Yeah. I mean,
I was hoping for like a feel-good Saturday date night situation.
Right.
You just want to talk about the river people.
Yeah, don't let the cave get you down, man. Don't let the cave get you down.
The theater demands your tears. The theater demands your tears. It's what it needs. It's what it needs.
I think it'd be powerful.
It's just, it's what plays are, man.
Right. Man, no, I don't disagree, but it is going to be like one of those. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It just sounds. It sounds like it's like, like a bunch of my favorite people and my favorite stuff. Like, but it's like packed into like I don't know. It's going to be like the Saving Private Ryan of like theater, where it's just like I can only do it like once, like every 10 years or something like that. It's like, I don't know. No, but yeah, I mean, like,
I understand that.
I think that. Yeah, I mean, like, that's strong. I mean, like, Sean,
I love your idea. That idea was great too.
Like, I'm just going super broad.
I think I'm bad for debates.
You can get existential. You can get funny. You can become. It can be as serious or like kind of lighthearted as you want to be, as life is on the water and shit like that. And like and kind of like, and I kind of grew up in a river rat town, and they're a special kind of folks for sure. And so like but like I don't know, like that as far as like a large appeal, and also as far as just like the applicability that you have to recreate like the production. Also, like, this is something that you could do as far as like you could literally just have like two people. Again, it's Waiting for Godot, but just like in the swamp, basically. And like, and that was sort of like, and then like high schools can like put on this production. They can just pantomime everything. Like, you can go as like big or minimal as you want, I think. And that's sort of my or at least that's what I like about the concept that I got going on. Like,
Pat,
and
Pat, give
Okay,
me
so-
some of your thoughts on your.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we've got black box
Yeah,
theater production. We've got full blown Broadway Italian tragedy.
Yeah.
I feel like Don't Fall in Love with a Traveling Girl and Sean's production fits snug right in the middle.
Yeah,
It's got comedy. It's got
Right.
river people, man.
Mm.
It's got tragedy and romance, but you're gonna walk out of it, and it's gonna send you off into the night with a song in your heart and a spring in your step. I just think it's a lot. It's a lot
This
of
guy,
fun. It would make-
the only
makes
thing
great
about the lead
production.
singer of this guy though is that he was a lead singer, and a bunch of emo like fans and shit like that will notice he was a singer in the mid to late aughts or something like that. This dude's getting canceled like in the next like as soon as this shit hits the thing, like it's gonna hit it around the same time. There's gonna be some weird shit like he had to replace those two other gals that were traveling with. Like there's a traveling gals for sure because they don't stay there that long because he's a fucking creep.
Don't slander my boy Sean right now.
here's-
Okay, now we're going
this open
into the
secret
mud.
on
Is that
Broadway.
it? Is
I
that
don't
how
fucking-
I
we're
like that
doing
you're
it?
canceling this character.
Everybody's too afraid to say it.
Right?
I'm not afraid to say it. Like we got to hold accountability.
Okay,
to
all right. If
right
we've
now,
sunk to
like-
ad hominem, I feel like that's points for me.
I mean, maybe it'll be more
Trying to
interesting for the
discredit my boy
story.
Sean
Yeah.
here.
Right.
I'm
You know,
not
well,
having
though, as far
that.
as like controversy, we could turn him into a Charlie Sheen character because that's always goes so great. The
Didn't you know it's legal
All right,
now?
guys,
It's
you're
fine.
out of time. I do love the idea of canceling this man for like, I don't know, like some woman
For
is like,
nothing.
he had a painting of my feet
Unsubstantiated.
commissioned without my permission or something.
right.
Yeah.
Like on the caves and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he didn't draw it with paint. You know, like
I must, yeah, oh God, I must say
oh
that
my god.
all three of these are golden ideas. I would love to see a stage play for all three of these. I really like the idea of a couple of swamp things just drumming on their boat.
You're
I
right.
really like the idea of a lute playing weirdo moving town to town being a pervert. But I also think that the fact that I knew someone was going to pick this, and I already decided before the debate even happened.
Yeah.
Andy, you win, man.
I mean,
Listen,
I can't do that.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Thank
Marketability.
you.
You
got it.
win.
Yeah, absolutely. That's selling out no matter where. You're not wrong.
Yeah. I the second I heard it, I was like,
was like,
ah,
fuck,
shit.
no, no,
I was
When they played the
legitimately
clip,
tearing
I
up.
was
Like, I was
I might as well
crying.
just sit here and not say shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like after that,
I
clip,
think
it
that
was over.
bookending of stage play with that song where he's at his son's funeral and he ends at his son's funeral would be like the most amazing stage play ever. Whatever happens in between, who knows? But
Right.
to bookend it with that would be so good. All right. We're going on to the next round. Sports. Ding ding.
Oh, Jesus.
Name 3 characters from the original series that you would put on a pro bending team and pick one animal from the universe as your team sponsor name. No avatars.
No avatars. Right on.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Pat, you're up first. I keep forgetting to
okay.
introduce you. It's only my job.
I'm all right. I decided that I was going to go for experience over youth. Every championship team has to have a leader. Got to have a guy that doesn't crack under pressure. They got to have an MJ. They got to have a Gretzky. They got to have. But I was like, why not just have 3 of them? So I went with Haku
Whoa.
and Boomy and Iro. Just old as fuck.
Yeah, geriatric team.
But
Yeah. They brought
what
the
they lack in
Jerrys.
what they lack in physicality, I say, as we see Boomy's rippling abs. And we know Ira's a goddamn beast. I think what they have in experience between the 3 of them would just be crazy good. It would be unbeatable. Young kids would not know how to deal with them. They would just be firm under pressure every single time. You want someone who's not going to choke in the championship game, and none of these guys are going to choke ever.
All right, Pat. Very good answer. Very interesting answer. I love it. I love the idea of a bunch of brittle old men just fucking up a bunch of kids. All right, so Andy, you're up next.
I don't know how I don't know how you compete against that. I'm not gonna lie. Once again, I think I'm not. I think I'm learning that I'm not the best for debates. I'm a little too timid. I'm very nice because that immediately I was like, oh shit, who the fuck would beat that
Hey, you
team?
won the last round,
So-
man. You're good.
That's true. That's true. So I was going kind of, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. I thought it would be like, oh, girl power. So I had Azula, Toph, and Katara. I thought that, that would be an interesting little trio. I think that Toph holds a lot of weight in her ability to be able to sense things in her surroundings. You know what I mean? See what's coming without knowing what's coming. And I also feel like Azula was really powerful throughout most of that show. And obviously Katara has the ability to heal all of her teammates no matter what gets thrown at them. So I think that might be also, can we talk about when Katara she just like stops the rain when she confronts her mother's killer. She just
Dude, no rain out.
The rain and turns it into ice. I mean, she's powerful. So you learn that by the end. So I feel like it could be a good team, but I'm not gonna lie. After seeing that last lineup, I would be a little bit scared about the outcome of those two going up against each other. But that's my team, and I'm sticking with it, I guess.
All right. As intimidating as the first team was, you did some statistical work that I liked and I appreciated. You brought up healing. I'm like, oh, this is like a video game now. I get it. Okay. You did a good job.
Off each other. That's the idea.
Yeah, exactly. And now, finally, Sean, tell us your picks.
Listen. You got to we got to get the olds out. We got to get the gals out or whatever. We got to bring a motley crew of sports benders over here, and that's what we have here. And what we got. So first one, we got to have every team needs a bad boy, heartthrob, fandom. You got to sell some tickets. You got to sell some jerseys. You got Prince Zuko. He's going to be on there. Other one, we need showmanship, athleticism, and also since being humbled by Toph, will be a gracious team player and not underestimate his opponents. I'm talking about the Boulder. And then the other one, this is a little bit out there. We need an old sage, weathered, strong in combat, knows how to be patient and wait for the right opportunity when it arises. Also, cannot be beaten as far as his spirit. I'm talking about Master Piandao, who is not a bender because he's the hardest motherfucker in the Four Nations, who is able to play in the pro bending league, not being a bender. You're trying to tell me that that's not a team that's good, that people are going to be able to coalesce around, that are going to be able to cheer for, the ultimate underdogs. This team is going to take it to them, and they're their experiences throughout their lives, they're going to be able to work together in a very cool way. Also, highly marketable. Listen, I'm just sitting right here. I need my cigar. I want to chop my cigars.
That's your time, Sean. Somebody get this man a cigar. You're wild. This guy put a non-bender in his bending.
Out of control. Yeah. And I would argue he doesn't even get to use a sword.
I think though, he's one of the only people on the White Lotus.
Yep. All right.
Absolutely. While he is badass, he would absolutely just get fucked up. What's he doing?
That's what you say. That's what you say, man. I mean, you don't get on the White Lotus for nothing. I mean, the other thing. I will say this: you got your. I was going to say for nothing.
You don't be the only non-bender in the White Lotus.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And also, I'll just say this: I do think that we would have a trouble against you guys because we would be choking off of the Ben Gay vapors that would be wafting off of your old. I mean, it's cool if you guys was oh man, I can't wait till we make it to the semifinals if we are alive or something. I mean,
how long do you think it's going to take for the Boulder and Prince Zuko to start beating the shit out of each other?
Well, no.
Egos like that on one team, never going to be able to work together.
At what point in the story, though? If we're talking post the show, they've grown a lot. They've they've definitely had again, both of them humbled in their own way. Like the Boulder by Toph and Zuko by just fucking life and everything or whatever it is. They're changed people at that point, and I do think that they can, and they've proven that they can work on a team. Also, again, let's bring in the Boulder, who is being played by The Rock, who was originally supposed to play that character. You got The Rock in a sports arena. I don't think that's getting beat. That's all I'm saying. I mean,
who doesn't have to wait to grow and develop? My wise ass team. They're already there. Also, we already have a fantastic mascot in Bosco, Umi's bear, not a monkey bear, not an owl bear, just a bear.
I mean,
That's-
well,
it's
the
the
only thing
perfect
that's really
mascot.
going to be, well, no, they will be growing stuff, but it'll just
Yeah.
be the
What was
flowers
Sean,
that
what
they
was your
will be
mascot?
pushing up from their graves because they are going to die.
Yeah, sorry.
All right,
I'm
like, hit us with a
gonna
mascot.
pause
What do
the
you got?
time for a second here. I
What's
do
that?
want you guys. You guys did not say your mascots. Everybody needs to
Oh
say
my
their
God, the
mascots.
mascots. Oh my God, we didn't do none of us did the mascots. Oh yeah, what was my like the fighting otter penguins. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing the otter penguins.
Okay.
Literally a animal built for recreational sport. There you go.
All right.
That's what I was
Pat,
thinking.
you were the what was it? The
Bear.
bear.
The bear.
Yeah,
There you go.
Boomy's bear Bosco, more specifically.
There we
Because
go.
Bosco's already a
Boomy's bear
character.
Bosco.
He's-
And Andy.
Yeah, and I had taken the platypus bear. Thought the
There
platypus
you go.
bear was a
Hell
pretty
yeah.
badass animal when I first saw it. So
All right.
Love
I
that.
will allow an additional 30 seconds at the end of this debate for
Okay.
so,
Well,
yeah,
and
continue.
I would also argue though that Toph has already beaten the boulder, so I mean you won't even make it to our team.
That's true. Well, I don't know. Well, I mean, like, well, he like beaten
I
by
was
the
gonna say,
boulder, but also
I'm
you got it. You got it.
no, I was just gonna say. I mean, we're the only. I mean, I have to say, my team's the only team that has healing capabilities. Once again, not sure how often or how realistic it would be for Qatar to be able to heal anybody. But if Toph could somehow manage to keep people away, they would have constant,
Right.
regeneration of energy and stuff. So, and I
True.
would say, to Pat's team, you are very old, so I would have to wonder
Mad
about your
old, dude. They're
longevity.
fucking
I have
dead.
to wonder
Next
about your
week, they're dead.
longevity.
We're going to the
But
funeral.
on the other
Like,
side of
listen.
things, dude, those rounds might be only 30 seconds, dude. Those rounds with those three old Boomy and Iroh on the
Oh.
same team's kind of
If
crazy,
Tyson-
dude.
If
I'm
Tyson
just being
taught us, if
realistic.
Mike Tyson taught us anything, it's that you don't need stamina if you end the match in round 1. That's it.
True.
Oh.
He was
Well,
finishing.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like,
So
I
it could
tell you
knock
this,
out quick. It could be knocked
the
out quick. I think
That's true.
I think
Yeah,
that
if it goes
especially in the
past 2
show,
rounds.
the old has shown their power.
Yeah.
Right,
So they got to
100%.
make it quick. They might not. They might not have stamina.
right.
But I don't know.
I
think
got
it's-
you.
I think I have a very good idea of Pat and Andy's
quick.
teams. Sean, can you give me a little bit more of your team, please?
I mean, like I'm talking about the underdogs, like the people that have like kind of gone through something and everything. Like I'm a little more kind of like people that have had to like a very like obviously very capable benders and then one non-bender, but people that have had to like the thing about that makes like a great team is if you're able to be sturdy in the face of adversity. And these are all people that have had to take an L. They've had to learn and grow from those from those losses. And I think that that's what like makes like a good cohesive, like it makes a well-rounded player, and a well-rounded player can make a well-rounded team. And so I think like my guys are like the underdogs. Like I think that's sort of like kind of like my entire like kind of precipice of like or at least that's like that's the overarching like theme behind like all of my guys. You know what I mean? Like and yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. That's who I want to root for. Like we're the people. Listen, we're the people's team, dog. Like we got these dusty old like highborn motherfuckers that are doing this. Like, we got all these like super bossed up like very very like highfalutin or whatever is like I'm talking about like this is the people's team right here, and that's kind of like
Right.
the underdogs, and that's
It's
where I'm coming
and
from.
with a non-bender, it's
With a
like
non-bender,
you're
with a
just giving them
non-bender,
That's
power
why.
every
with
time.
a non-bender that will clean the clock out of anybody. out
He's
there.
somehow
And also,
doing a very good job
literally-
of swaying me
The
to
thing
the
is,
idea of
Master
having a
Pyonder will take out your
non-bender.
entire team because all he has to do is cough on them.
All
and
right,
then
all
they're
right.
dead.
Your time's up,
Like-
Sean.
like-
Shut up. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to what team do I pick, nepotism, girl power, or the underdog? I mean, if this was a Hollywood movie, we'd pick the underdog, right? But no, I'm going with Pat. Pat wins.
Fair.
He has the best team. I
Fair.
think that, Andy, you did a very admirable job of defending your team's capabilities. But Pat, it can't be denied, man. That's a good team.
Yeah, it's a solid team. And don't get me wrong, I love me some girl power. I think Toph
Right.
might be my favorite character.
I think that I would prefer to see on screen. No, actually, no, Pat. No, I would prefer to see that on screen. That would be dope. That would be so good. But also, Sean, your team was good too. You just didn't sway me at the end of the
Oh
day.
no, I got you. I mean, listen. I look forward to watching them place their world championship trophy in the casket of Pat's entire team.
Well, I mean, if
all
these
the
three teams,
spending hate aside, I like Sean's idea. I like Sean's idea.
I
And,
like
you know,
Sean's
like-
idea as well. If these three teams were going up against each other, Sean's team would win because that's the law of storytelling. But
Plot
let's
armor.
let's
But,
move
hey,
on
but-
to the next.
I got you though. I got you.
Katara and
totally
Haku already kind of have a rivalry, so that would be an interesting, thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so this round is the wild card round. If you granted entry to win,
No.
Wait.
This is history.
Oh,
Then
history.
wild
Right,
card.
yeah.
oh, sorry, I skipped ahead. History. In the sequel series, Avatar Korra, a new era and Republic City are introduced, and they are pretty cool. Which hysterical period? Which hysterical period would you offer? Which historical period would offer the most compelling backdrop for an Avatar story? Oh, sorry, Andy.
I was like, waiting. Okay, so for this one, I decided to go with ancient Greece. I think that, and obviously I'm very biased because I love Greek mythology, but I just think it would be awesome to have some sort of story with not only just the Avatar, but Bender's also with all of the great Greek gods from Zeus to all of them. You know what I mean? And battling things like, I think that could be a story of fucking wonder, man. Like, I really think that would be something cool. Once again, also in the DBZ realm, I guess rationally, Bender probably have no fucking Greek gods. I think it'd be cool to see, is my point. And whether or not they'd be exploded in an instant, I think it could prove to at least entertain visually. And yeah, I just think it would be awesome. I think Greek mythology and Avatar just fucking mashed together. It was actually almost instantly when I thought about this question that came to mind. So just what I was what was born to say. So there we go.
Andy, great answer. I love that you went with your gut, and your gut was good. Let's move on to Sean. Pat. Wait. Hold on.
Sean
Who is
Pat,
it?
I think you had it right.
Okay,
Like,
it's not.
wait. Are we doing the Avatar combining like guests and stuff like
Yeah.
that? Like, it's a badger mole. It's
No,
a
to go
shark
back to
cat,
DBZ,
like,
you
or
guys have to
whatever.
do the fusion dance or whatever.
There we go. Is it me? Is it me though? Okay, sick. All right. I am going. This is gonna sound kind of cheesy. This is gonna sound weird or whatever it is, but like it is. We're going with this time in history right now, 2024. I can think of no other time, at least right now, where we could use like the humbling, the like sheer like enormity and awesomeness of the power of the Avatar and their mission, which is to create balance. I mean, I think that in some ways, you think about what's going on in elements of the world right now, it's hard to be it's like, I think sometimes it feels like it's among the worst points in history sometimes, but also I think that the Avatar would remind us that also, like, it is a glorious time to be alive. I think that the Avatar could kind of do both of those things, and also, like, obviously within I guess, like, within the context of just like kind of like recalibrating what the world can kind of value, calling things out, saying the quiet part out loud, and bringing justice and some truth and stuff like that into this weird old time that we got over here in 2020.
Sean, also a very good answer. My gut went there as well, and you know what?
We can use them.
We need some benders right now.
Avatar.
Somebody
Absolutely.
bend me out of unemployment. All right, so Pat.
So I'm going in the complete opposite direction from modern day. I decided to go with prehistory, and we're going like pre-Avatar, before, we're talking the dawn of bending itself. And I'm thinking similar to like Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal, where very lacking of dialogue. It's a lot of visual storytelling, and you've got the dragons, you've got the badger moles. You have the sky bison and early humans communicating with them and learning bending from the animals, like has been mentioned in the series a couple of times, and really exploring the relationship of humans with the natural world through a purely visual, really like hyper stylized art style. And really taking a lot of direction from that Genndy Tartakovsky or like any other prehistoric dialogue minimalist series. I think it'd be pretty cool.
All right, Pat. Well, somebody told Pat that bringing up Tartakovsky, that psychopath, is a win, but we can maybe sway that. We're going into the debate now, guys. Have at me.
So are we just doing like? Are we doing like that whole?
Really? No, you go.
No,
Sean,
you got it.
You got it.
Okay. Well, I mean, like with the whole like the dinosaur.
I was just gonna
fucking. That's sick as hell. I mean, like I like that a lot. I mean, like are we talking like a talking dinosaur type of thing? Like,
no, we're talking no dialogue. It's all
Wait,
dialogue,
it's not voiced by
storytelling.
Keith
It's all-
David? What the
right.
fuck?
Oh, right. I mean, like, dude, if that's not on the table, then we got to throw this thing out right now. Absolutely not. No, I mean, like, I think that, like, but can the Avatar characters talk? Like, are they gonna? Can they have dialogue, or are you going?
No,
like,
we're talking like
stylistic,
prehistory.
like, taking it all out.
We're talking pre-language. We're talking
Okay.
pre-written word.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, we're going back to the beginnings of bending itself, before humans had like full civilization. Probably,
Okay.
It's gonna look
I would
like
assume, like-
Sasquatch Summer.
We're gonna watch Vatu crawl out of the primordial ooze or whatever it is, and grow wings and shit like that, or whatever the fuck.
Shit.
I mean, like stylistically, I think it would. I think that could work, but like, I mean, I think like other than Samurai Jack and Powerpuff Girls, it'd be like every other Tartakovsky thing where it would last for like a season and not really get picked up after that or whatever it is. I mean, like I mean, like I love the concept. I think again, as far as like a tough sell,
both those shows have like 5 seasons.
Oh, is that right? I mean, like, well, no, what was
And
the other one?
movies,
I think it was just
too.
the other
Yeah,
one.
they
And
had
movies.
movies,
Yeah.
No.
And Primal was like 4 seasons as well.
No, those are the two. Those are the two jewels, and then everything else that he has like lasts like
The Clone Wars got turned into a very successful animated cartoon show after that, too.
Yeah, it was
Right.
good that they had to bury it because they were like, it's too fucking cool.
Well,
You
no,
made us
that's
look bad.
that first original one is the best. That's the best shit. Absolutely,
good.
I'm with you on that.
I
I
like
don't
the
know.
idea of like a solar punk future where know the idea, because I've been super into solar punk and like the whole conservationist like utopian idea of sci-fi as opposed to the usual dystopia sci-fi, because like it's hard to read dystopian sci-fi living in the world we live in right now. So like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Talking
very,
about an
like,
actual
naturalistic-
dystopia? Yeah, it's
yeah.
right, exactly.
So it'd be
Yeah,
cool
I mean-
to have like a little more like happy-go-lucky solar punk 2024 Avatar. I think that'd be.
It could be so. I mean, like, it could be something. I think it's just one of those things where I think that was the thing that like kind of connected with all of us is how the problems of this world's like storytelling capabilities would speak to like the current state of like when it happened, like because like the Iraq War is all over that original show. There's so many things about like the kind of Bush era, like post 9/11 kind of world that show had a lot to say about. And like, I want to see like what the Avatar has to say about here. You know what I mean? Like, and Korra sort of gets into some of that elements of just like messaging, the rise of fascism, like the degradation of norms and stuff. And I think and I think it's also just as far as like a powerful thing, like just how like if you can like express that in this world and contextualize it within this world, I think that people are very hungry for something like that. You know what I mean? I think it could be pretty like powerful. Like
I think that you
if
guys have both
if you can stick the landing.
Yeah, I think that you guys have both made really good arguments for your eras in history. I would like to hear more from Andy, please.
Yeah.
So I mean, really, all I was going with this is like almost in like almost as if they were the beginning of the avatars, right? They left upon certain humans, certain whatever, these powers, and as humanity continues to be humanity and unravels themselves and war and stuff like that, the gods are like, okay, well, you've now taken what we've given you and forsaken it, so now we need to come down and rectify it. And then there'd be individuals amongst that were stronger than others. And
there could be an interesting thing, because also the thing about the Greek gods is that they would just like fuck with people just to do it. You know what I mean? Like, and like the Avatar would be like, hey man, like that's not chill, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that would, or something. It would be interesting, like gods learning I guess lessons or something like that. I don't know. Like
I think about the gods as they exist in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and you have like Ko, the weird thing with
the face stealer
scares the shit out of me, and it's like
yes,
those gods in Avatar: The Last Airbender, as we see it, are they've kind of been like pushed aside from humanity. Like I would like to see when they kind of rule over people. Like Ko's not living in a weird.
Right. Or their
cave
interpretations
anywhere,
of
but-
what Greek gods could be, like they would
Yeah.
be twisted weird things too. That could be interesting.
Like they're more powerful because people haven't learned to really bend well yet. So it's like, Ko is just like a weird, powerful tyrant.
Yeah. And then the avatars are sort of the answer to the gods, right? Like the human.
in a certain sense.
You know, your Odysseus and your Greek heroes kind of thing.
Then also you just get George Takei just coming in and it's like, hello,
oh my god. Excuse me.
Right.
All right. So the time is up. And I like all those answers. Man, this is a hard one because I think that all of these are very interesting. Pat, I think you shot yourself in the foot because you really kind of lifted up Sean's idea in a way that made me like it better than what he originally said. Yeah. I do love the idea of like a Tartakovsky animated version, like somehow like mashing that style and that idea up, and like just his sensibilities would be so good for Avatar. But like Sean said, for one season, and then we need to just forget about it forever. Like, Andy, I love the idea of the Greek gods just being weird creeps in the Avatar universe that exist that they can deal with. But I also think that are already sort of like meshes with the idea of Avatar as it is. Like they could exist without putting it in that setting. I think the true, the most jarring answer and the most appealing answer to me is the solar punk version of the future where benders are taking over and they're controlling the world for the better. Sean, you win. Tank Top wins.
Oh my god. How'd I get so like mining our own collective?
As soon as I saw the little headline picture for Sean, I was like, oh yeah, I like that way.
Well, no, it was just like, but also it's just like it's also me mining our collective post-capitalism hellscape, and our desire to be free of it, like into the concept of it. Which who the fuck wouldn't vote for that? But that's part of the reason why I fucking like.
And I think you made a good point with like the anti-colonialist, anti-militaristic messages that already kind of exist in Avatar
and
like,
applying it to now, you know,
would be pretty cool. I would watch any of these.
Absolutely.
Imagine
isn't that where it's kind of going?
Strange World or whatever that movie that came out not too long ago is, but like with benders in it.
Yeah, right.
That would be.
Isn't that kind of what we're gonna do with the next series? Like the next, like say, or Korra lives to be like we're in like the 20s, right? Korra lives to be like 60s. Are we in like 1980s?
Yeah,
you know,
she's like a 90-year-old, and like everybody's wearing windbreakers and
like big shoulder pads and shit like that, or whatever the fuck it is. Like that's what's kind of fascinating to me. And then after that one, then we're really getting into like the fucking like Bender 2049 type, like,
all right,
type shit or whatever.
I must bring us back,
please,
to the discussion at hand.
Please.
We are now into the wild card round, the one that I flubbed real hard a moment ago, but I'm not gonna flub it this time. If granted entry into Wan Shi Tong's spirit library, which single book would you choose to exchange for knowledge? And what would make Wan Shi Tong accept your selection over those other contenders? Sean.
Okay. This is real simple. It's a nice little exchange. I'm coming over to your house. I got something to give you, but I got to take something with me. And that's my scenario right now, because what I'm going to exchange is a copy of Martha Stewart's Organizing for them. Because listen, there's a shitload of stuff in there, and it looks pretty good, but we don't really know what the situation is as far as organizing and all that type of stuff. And that will like make it better. Like, it's your ability and ease to find things is what's important, but also it's going to come at a little bit of a price. I got to add something of Washington Tong too. So what I want to do is I want to purge, to take and drop into like a volcano on the Fire Islands to purge the library of the Joe Rogan podcast, because it is anti-knowledge. Because like when anything is kind of interesting and anything is true in the moment, then knowledge literally means nothing. It is a cancer eating that library from the inside out. We need to take it. We need to get it out of there, and we need to save the future and our ability to like process that knowledge. So that's my thing. So the scrolls of Joe Rogan are out.
Sean found himself a soapbox and he stood on it. No, that was a good answer, man. I like that a lot. We're gonna move to Pat now.
Okay, I'm a huge literary nerd, so this one really spoke to me. And I know that Wan Shi-tong, he mentions it in the episode that he really likes first editions and illustrations. So I went with one of my favorite books of all time, the Gormenghast trilogy, more specifically the first one called Titus Groan. Marvin Peake was a contemporary of J.R.R. Tolkien. He's less of a world builder and linguist, where Tolkien really focused on, elven languages and all that other stuff. Gormenghast is a character piece. It's about a sprawling castle so big that the people who live inside it have never seen the whole thing. And it's got characters in it who I feel like I know personally from years of reading this book and like having read it years ago. And I think he's kind of devoid of interaction with a lot of people. So he needs something that really speaks to humanity, and he would really enjoy it because it's all illustrated by Marvin Peake as well, with very simple line drawings. So if I could find a manuscript, I would probably keep it, but I would give it to Wan Shi-tong in exchange for access to his library for sure. I think he would really love it.
I think Pat's been reading my diary. like Uncle Iroh, like Keith David, Gormenghast is my dad. All right, Andy, you're up next.
Nobody ever knows Gormenghast.
I gotta be honest here. Me and Chris were kind of working out the credentials on this one right before the show. So I told him that I was gonna do like a book on. I think I lost the concept, right? I was gonna give him. Okay, so we did the Art of War. Good. So I said I'd give him Sun Tzu, the Art of War, and I know how much Wan Shi-tong hates war, obviously through all of the quarrels that have happened in the past. But I think that Sun Tzu's very, very still to this day, important part of military excellence would. You might look at it and be like, "Why do I want a book about war?" But you can't get a full understanding. You can't quell the tides of war without first knowing it, before first understanding how war mongrel's mind works. So I feel like that would be something that might be interesting to him. And I'm gonna stand on that. I'm gonna stand on that hill. An eye on it.
All right. Also a good answer. I'm torn at the start, so you guys need to rip me to shreds. Show me what's up.
Listen, all I'm saying is, it's like we can't have this whole breadth of knowledge if we can't find the fucking thing. And that's when you have the organization book. That's what we need. Again, like it all goes to shit if we can't find any of that stuff. And the only thing that I will say, I do think that I'm not going to sit there and disrespect Wan Shi-tong, who's been through a lot. He's been through a lot. Sokka came in, fucked his shit up. He had to take the whole thing and take it underground and everything like that. And now he's gonna be like, listen, I don't like war. And you're just gonna be like, okay, you don't like war? Have some war. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's instant disrespect. I was like, but that's like instant disrespect. You can't do it. And then also, as far as like knowledge and shit, like Pat just wants to be in a book club with him. Like, I don't know if there's like, totally. I mean, like, again, that's knowledge, but it's knowledge about a world that it like is. I'm sure that there's some applicable themes and some different stuff or whatever it is, but does this guy have the time? I don't know. He seems like a busy guy. Maybe he does, but
he lives in a library by himself. As, like, he's got all the time in the world.
That's fair. But as far as like what, like we're talking about knowledge, it's like knowledge of a fantasy realm that he does not exist in, as far as that was. Whereas like I'm talking about,
I mean, like, honestly, I'm gonna.
Okay. You're talking about disrespect. You don't think that Wan Shi-tong has autism real bad? You don't think he's got that whole place organized?
Exactly. He doesn't know every single book's location. Thank you.
Right. Like that dude is definitely on the spectrum, because anyone touches anything, he's like, put that fucking thing down. I know exactly where that goes. Don't touch it. And you're like, okay, sorry, man, I'm okay. He's gonna have I think he'd look at that and be like, motherfucker, you think I don't know this place?
It's
also the fact that the other thing is, but also we're thinking about this is like post like sinking into the sand, like Sokka fucking cocked
I'm
also
I'm on the fence of thinking that he might throw the organization book out the window at this point. Being like, fuck this book.
No.
Right,
but
okay.
I'm
you're
thinking
talking
like,
about a slightly autistic recluse, and I'm like, hey, you want to talk about a weird fucking book that I love, and we're just gonna have a weird little autism moment, and I think that's what he lives for, is just like intellectualizing things, talking about concepts that don't exist, and philosophizing. Like I would just like sit there cross-legged in the middle of the library and be like, okay, let's just like I'm gonna live here now. You should see my apartment. I'm basically Washi Tong in training. I love this fucking. I loved this question when we got it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get real nervous.
All right, Andy, give me a couple more words before the time's up. Andy, are you there?
Andy.
What happened? Did we say me? Talk about me?
Yeah, go. Give me a couple more words.
I'm breaking up a little bit. It keeps breaking up a little bit, so I'm not sure where I'm landing. Yeah, so honestly, I love Pat. I love Pat's idea. I think Pat's idea is great. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, I know I should be really fighting and vying. I should be vying for that second point. But I think he's just right. Like exactly like he said, he's a recluse. So honestly, my art of war is incredibly disrespectful. Maybe he would see it and be like, "Oh, this is a little interesting." But I think at this point, because there was a time where he got whatever those original people that's books, he kind of liked them. Actually, he thought they were noble. He thought that you know what I mean. Right. But as time went on, he just grew more and more disdain with war. So I think ultimately he would be like, get this fucking out of here. So honestly, the autism speaking on the spectrum thing, you guys would be in your little book club for fucking 45 to an hour just talking about. I think it'd be knowledge.
I'm not talking about how much I want to be a fucking friend to this guy. Like I'm trying to help him. Also,
you're trying to gain access to the library, right?
This is the post sand.
Are you telling me that the knowledge
this is the post sand? Oh, yes, sir. This is the post sand sink like library, right? That shit was moving, shaking. Books are falling off everywhere. He's going to need to get back on his feet. And this is just a nice little helpful like book to just like, hey, listen, I know you've had your system, but also you got to change the vistas to enjoy the view, my dude. And like and Martha, who is older than you, by the way, is also going to be able to help you, like be able to like a couple of cool pointers and maybe some new ways of thinking about some stuff to get this to have this library as organized and as easy to maintain and to traverse as possible. You know what I mean? And so like, I think that, and then also I'm taking the Joe Rogan stuff out of the thing too. Again, it is thought terminating, knowledge canceling shit.
I don't think he's storing audiobooks. I'm not really.
I don't know what. No, what it's like. I mean, like, well, no, it's one of those like it's those ads that you keep getting that have Joe Rogan shit. You know, they come for everybody, including Washington.
Yeah. This is also hard, but I mean, Andy, you made it kind of a little easier. I think I gotta go with Pat, man.
Gorman gas. Like
speaking as somebody who, if you moved anything in my apartment is as disheveled and cluttered as it looks, if you moved one thing, I'd say, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Stop. So, Pat, you're the winner, man. You win. All right. Wait.
I did it.
Are we going into the speed world mind? I need your help.
Yes. Okay. So we have reached the speed round portion with Pat.
Did you
King
edit my document?
I don't think so. It shouldn't be. It's a PDF. But yeah. Anyway, with Pat King taking the lead with that point. Unfortunately, Andy, that means you are eliminated from the main round.
No.
Thank you so
much.
But
Andy, do you want to stay and help me judge the speed round?
It's been great. It's been great, boys. You're wonderful.
You're welcome to stay if you want and judge, right. Or if you need to bounce, feel free.
Yeah, you get to join me in the judging.
Yeah, stay and be a judge. Because I mean, you definitely gave me
I'm here.
Gave me a leg up last time.
That's what I'm saying.
You got me. Yeah, put me over there.
I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know it was gonna be 2 against 1. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sean. I didn't mean to be a distinct
No, I know.
faker. I just
you
had to be true to my heart. If you didn't already know.
100%. 100%.
All right. So with
Andy,
that,
we need to do the
Andy,
fusion. We have to
Autism
do the
fight,
fusion.
baby.
Hold on. Me and Andy have
Okay.
to fuse together.
There we go. Yes.
Fusion.
Get up there.
Which way is it?
Yeah, we got.
All
There we
right.
go.
Sean, over here.
We are now one man.
Oh
a
wait,
Superman.
shit. God damn it.
Andy. There we go.
We
Hell
did
yeah,
it.
dude.
We did it.
You
We're-
got the
our name is
green
now
link up. You guys
Standy.
got the green link up for sure.
Standy. We're gonna call ourselves Standy, and we're gonna judge the heck out of you.
Sandy.
And now
Sandy.
it's time for the speed.
I don't know if I'm gonna say.
Oh, it's Speedy, is it? All right.
Speed,
I
or
don't
should
have
brought
any
some speed.
World Mind. I don't have any questions here. My thing is blank.
there's gonna be banners popping up. Okay, so the general rule with speed round is once he's done reading the question, you guys pipe in. There will be either A or B options presented. Some of these questions you have to think about something too. So whoever says it first gets their choice. They say the lines. Then you get 30 seconds to give your opening argument each. Then you both get a 15-second rebuttal. And if there's extra rebuttal needed, that is up to the host. So that is how this will work. So, yeah, starting with movies and going that.
All right. On my document, there is no questions. What am I supposed to do? Just make them up?
Are they going to?
Hey, have you guys ever
No,
seen The
they're gonna-
Shining? It's a good movie.
Okay.
I think they're gonna pop up on the screen, right? Like as a banner.
Yeah, they're gonna
right?
pop up on the screen. Yeah.
Okay,
There
right.
should be
Yeah,
that on
we're
your
looking
document. I don't know
right
why,
now.
but that'll take too long. So
The
hang-
last is the wild card, and it says, "Not my cabbages." Was the cabbages vendor or victim?
No, stop. That's
Oh,
like the
sorry.
last speed round question.
Oh, sorry.
Oh God, we've gone alive.
It's the only
No,
one.
no.
It's literally the only question I have.
Here we go.
All right,
Oh,
so
here we
speed
go, there you
round.
go.
Movies: Steven Spielberg or Denis Villeneuve. Who would direct a better Avatar: The Last Airbender movie?
Spielberg.
Okay, Pat, give me your 30 seconds. Tell me why the Bergman's gonna take it home.
I mean, we've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. I feel like that tone is exactly what you want from an Avatar: The Last Airbender movie. You want action, you want family friendly, you want romance, you want, Nazis, a villain that you can 100% just get behind kicking their ass in the Fire Nation. I mean, Spielberg. Denis Villeneuve, more of a sci-fi guy.
All right. Yeah, Sean, you have to you got to go with the Denis, baby.
taking with
Tell
the
me
Denis.
about
I was like-
Denis. What's his name? How's he doing over there?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that it's one of those things where it's like, do we want like I think that the world building within Denis Villeneuve's catalog is a lot stronger. I would say, like, I think that he kind of knows and understands. I think that there's an emotionally potent thing with Spielberg, but I think that those will sort of take care of themselves insofar as because the characters are very well drawn. We just saw that happen with Dune 2. I do like the fact that he puts in so much work in making it grounded, making it feel real. And I think that that is what would kind of put him over the top in that sense.
All right. That's a hard one. I think that the proven Spielberg as a proven entity is much stronger, but Denny is like not really failed ever.
Sir, they
Andy,
still
what do you
have
think?
rebuttals.
Oh,
They
shit,
did
sorry.
rebuttal.
we got rebuttal. We got rebuttal.
All right,
We
you
got
guys,
rebuttal.
rebutte.
Okay, I would say with Denis Villeneuve, you're looking at like huge budgets. I don't think he has the whimsical tone necessary to really make an Avatar: The Last Airbender movie that people are going to want to watch. He's going to have the weight. He's going to have the technical ability, sure, but yeah.
All right. Sean, hit us.
Are we talking about current Spielberg and current Denis Villeneuve? Because I'm taking current Denis all the time. Because current Spielberg, I mean, I saw Ready Player One, and that was a garbage mashed potato, like bukkake of bullshit. And
Oh
I
my
don't
gosh.
know if this guy has the command over the cinematic language at this point to make that happen. Didn't even know all the way.
All right. World Mind. Are we deciding now?
Yes, you can go ahead and decide.
Andy, I don't know how you feel, but I don't know. Sean kind of won me over at the end.
2024.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I was in and out a little bit. My connection was a little fricky, but I think I understand where Sean was steering that ship.
I think that you saying current Denny versus current Steven, I think that you kind of won me over there. So we're gonna go with Sean here.
Are you sure?
Sorry, Pat.
Wasn't
Love your
because
answer
he's
though.
Bukkake?
No,
He said Bukkake. That's all you have to do.
true.
Just
Yeah,
yell
but
Bukkake, and I will
gonna
vote for you.
say-
I cracked the code. No, even
Yeah.
like
sure our host is a pervert.
1993 Spielberg all fucking day. I got you on that.
Yeah, Jurassic Park era.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give that to you because he hasn't made a good movie in a fucking decade.
It's been right, yeah, absolutely. So
yeah.
He's old. Leave him alone. All right,
no,
next question.
absolutely, yeah.
Leave the
Speed round.
geriatrics alone.
All right, TV. If Avatar: The Last Airbender were not produced by Nickelodeon, which other network or animated studio would have been more suited? Cartoon Network or Warner Bros. Animation? Oh wait, sorry. Those are your options: Cartoon Network or Warner Brothers Animation. Which one would you pick?
Warner Brothers.
All right, Sean, tell us about it.
Warner Brothers has a stable of great animation that they've been putting together for a very long time. I mean, this is the house that Paul Dini built with Batman the Animated Series. This is extrapolated throughout all of the DC kind of like era stuff. If you can get that apparatus, like which has all of the goods, like literally James Gunn has a cheat sheet as far as how to build the DC cinematic universe because of what this animation like studio has done at Warner Brothers. And so we're like on the strength of that, you take that creative team, you bring that into the Avatar world, you got a winner.
All right, Pat, this is going to be hard. You're going to have to really bring it, man.
Okay. With Cartoon Network, let's not forget that they had some really incredible shows on Adult Swim. So I'm thinking going Aeon Flux. Using the studio that produced Aeon Flux, super smooth animation. You want something that's hard hitting. You want all of those bending effects to be impactful and really stylized and cool looking, have that anime feel. I think Dini is a great storyteller, and I think Warner Brothers did some great stuff, but I think you want stylized, smooth animation.
Holy shit. Pat brought it. All right, so rebuttal, rebuke, go.
Style, as far as that goes, I don't need a bunch of fucking like Avatar: The Last Airbender characters with super pronounced nipples and shit. Okay, like I don't need any of that, except for maybe June. But like that's a little weird. I don't know if it's appropriate for that type of zone. I think we need to stay classic with Warner Brothers.
Pat.
Well, I would like to remind you that that company also did, those animators also did the Men in Black cartoon, which I think, it's not over sexualized, but it's a good example of what could be. And Dini is kind of flat animation wise.
Holy moly, Andy! I don't know,
That was a
man.
close one.
This is hard.
It's hot in here. It's real hot in here right now. I don't know.
My gut says Sean, but my heart says Pat.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the same exact thing.
I'm going
Only
with Pat,
because-
man. I'm going with Pat. He made some very, very solid arguments that overshadowed yours, Sean. I apologize.
I see. I didn't want to be biased because I was easily on Sean's side, but the argument-wise, Pat made a good argument. But I love the Mortal Kombat movies. So Warner Brothers really kills it. It really does. I
did feel backed into a corner there, though. I was like, shit, I'm on the back foot now.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only time it's ever appropriate to bring up Aeon Flux is when you're backed into a corner. Okay.
All right. Always weird nips.
Next question.
Right, this is about arguments, world. That's why I didn't concede the shot.
Yes.
Okay, so because the argument was good for Pat. Yep.
All right, music. What band would perform the best cover of Secret Tunnel?
You have to come up with a band.
Okay. Lil Nas X.
Whoa! All right, tell us about it.
Lil Nas X is, I think, like an icon for a number of reasons. Also, I mean, he's definitely like he loves he loves to like mix messages. We could do a very, very interesting, very horny, very like weird, something that'll piss off a bunch of people's parents stuff about the secret tunnel. Okay, you know that like people's minds are going to be going in a bunch of different ways over there, and we're going to have this slick, incredible, like fantastic dancer, fantastic lyricist. He's going to bring that idea to the screen. He pole vaulted down into hell and gave Devil a lap dance. Come on, he can do anything.
I think that's an amazing answer. Pat, you gotta come up with something better than secret butthole or whatever he says.
Okay, I'm gonna go pop punk and say Blink 182. Go with the 90s. You want to they're juvenile. You can get those innuendos in there. You punch it up a little bit, make it a little more dancey. We're talking like 90s vibe, big time.
Secret
big
tunnel
vibe. Yeah. Pumping guitar riffs, some see, Blink 182 or Bowling for Soup, but I'm thinking Blink 182, something pop punk in 90s. So I'm going with Blink 182.
All right.
Rebuttal.
Rebuttal.
Blink 182, like again, like we're trying to like have like a conversation. I think like tonally it can make sense, but also like we're trying to get the kids like kind of into this thing or whatever. So we got to think about in the 21st century, not the late 20th century. So that's what I'm kind of thinking with that.
Strong.
Rebuttal.
Pat, what's your
Well,
rebuttal?
didn't you hear Blink 182 recently toured and did pretty well? I mean, Little Nas X, I think he can do no wrong, but I also don't think his style is quite suited for that particular tune. Because we know my boy Chong is a bit of a weirdo.
All right. Andy, how do you feel about this one?
That last little rebuttal Pat had was very quality. The good little part about Blink 182 going back on tour, but I mean, Sean nailed it with the secret tunnel in the first intro. I mean, you can't go wrong. As soon as he said that, the entirety of what he was saying clicked with me. I was like, yep, it's almost instant. It's almost instant.
Sean, you win, buddy.
Thank you. That's a tough one. No, because also like how it literally sounds like something they would say, secret tunnel. Like,
as soon as you said it made perfect.
I also just want to see a Little Nas X music video where he's airbending.
And I want it corny, and I want it pissing off like conservative moms and dads and shit. And that's kind of that's where
I can't hate
all
that.
those things.
I mean, if we can get bending and horny in the same
that's what I'm saying.
music video,
Absolutely.
why the
he's
heck
breaking
not?
down barriers.
Lil Nas X grinding on a guitar, a real life guitar or something. You know what I mean?
Dude, Lil Nas X like on Appa, like grinding like on some shit or whatever. This would be fucking incredible, dude. Like, we're so sick.
All right, let's move on to the next question before we get way too horny up in here.
Dick bending.
Yeah, 100%.
Speed round. Sports. Which Olympic sport would benefit best from the addition of a bending element?
Single sport and a single element.
I think they understood.
Shot put.
Shot put. Nice. Tell us about it.
Shot put. You're talking about like as far as your base and like where you have to. It's all about footwork, and it's all about pressing off of that. If you can actually literally move the earth as far as like the inertia and everything like that, we're taking shot putting into a stratosphere that we've never even conceived before. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I think it'd be a harder thing to like. It's hard to conceive of like utilizing like could earthbending like actually help you run faster? I don't know, but I know for a fact as far as like planting those things as Toph showed us for the shot put could be very, very powerful. So that's what.
All right, good answer, Pat.
I immediately think of the luge and the scene from I think it was in Bossing. No, it wasn't in Bossing Say. It was in the other capital city. Yeah, Omashu, where they're in the little earth, like the rock boxes, and they're just fucking flying through the city. I'm like, that's basically luging, but way cooler and way more ripe for horrible accidents.
So what would your bending
everyone
be?
watches
Earth or air?
Yeah, what's the bending there?
Earth bending. Or, I mean, yeah, you could do air, but they're already in the weird...
also way more terrifying. Everyone's saying, stop.
Yeah, like,
this is scary.
Crash through a wall.
Yeah.
Rebuttal.
Right.
Rebuttal. I mean, like, I do think that is true, but like, what is this turning into the fucking Hunger Games? Like, we want these people to die. Like I think that, like, or we want Cool Runnings, but just with more death. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that necessarily. Like, that could be fire, but not.
Right. I mean, who doesn't want Cool Runnings with more death? Pat.
Listen, nobody
Dude,
watches NASCAR for the left turns. All right. I like. Remember when that dude died in the luge and it was all over the news? I mean, you win some, you lose some. That's part of the fucking. That's part of the. That's part of the race.
You win some, you
Some, you
lose
lose
some.
some.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
I almost just want to give him the point for saying that. Okay. Oh man, this Andy. I think I'm leaning Pat. How do you feel?
After the luge line, I'm leaning Pat too.
All right, Pat, you win, buddy.
And I also like just say like Cool Runnings, but with more death is also sounds
doing my
super sick
work
when
for
you
me.
say it. You're like, I said it out loud, and I was like, oh.
I will say though that John, your answer did make me just want to watch the Olympics with Ben. It would be more interesting to watch the Olympics if there was bending involved. After hearing your answer.
No, the shot put was incredibly. That was very quick. That was very quick and very, very good. That was a good answer.
I did shot put, so like when I in high school. So
I was about to say this guy seems like he probably shot a put at some point.
I was gonna say, he might shoot a
Let's
put.
put some shots for sure.
All right. Next question. Speed round history. Which historical artist, Leonardo da Vinci or Katsushika Hokusai? I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. Would best complement the visual style of Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I'm gonna go with Katsushika Hokusai just because they're Asian, and it goes with the visual style. I am currently Googling their name, but let's see what kind of argument I can make.
I'm pretty
No
sure
Googling.
Hokusai is like
No Googling.
any
okay,
ancient
so okay,
scripture,
no,
all
I
that
know this
ancient
one.
scripture, yeah.
The Great Wave off Kamigawa.
Yeah,
so Japanese woodblock.
Exactly.
That's my background on my PlayStation.
Oh yeah, he's like the most famous Japanese artist.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably, that's already the visual style.
He's
of
the
Avatar.
Leonardo da Vinci of Japan.
Yeah, well, you already have those styles. I think Da Vinci in his like realism style wouldn't really fit like an Asian setting.
Pat, I agree, but it would be interesting to see Leonardo da Vinci do some Avatar.
Well,
Sean, tell us about it.
That's exactly my point, because we've kind of already, like, at least within the context of like Korra and everything like that, we almost kind of got there with that flashback stuff with the original with like the first Avatar Wong. And so I think that like we sort of already had that. I'm all about new ideas. I'm about fresh ideas. I'm about a fresh new palette and stuff like that. We've seen, like, you take like an awesome show like Arcane, right? Which has a very much more oil painterly type of thing. I would love to see Avatar in that style. And that's a little bit more with the Da Vinci thing.
Rebuttal.
All right, Pat, rebut us.
Well, I just think Da Vinci wouldn't really fit because there's just too many babies with their dicks out. There's just so many dudes with their dicks out all the time. You just naked people fucking everywhere. Just wouldn't make any sense. Have you seen the Sistine Chapel? So many dicks.
I did not think that you would use that as a weapon, but you did. All right.
Exactly. Weapon as product. You heard it first.
Told you,
That's
I was gonna
what
be
you
a
guys will
problem.
reward. No, well, here's the thing. It's like Da Vinci's a fucking professional. I mean, like, all the stuff that he was done was like, most of the shit that he did was a lot of commissions. But the man, when he's paid, if he goes like, hey, listen, no baby dicks, I got you, no problem. And you're gonna see something you've never seen before. That in that style, and that's kind of what I would want to see.
Wait, you're telling me you don't want any baby dicks in this?
That's what
All
I'm
right,
saying.
I got you.
They're free. They're free dicks.
I'm a fucking Italian guy. How you doing? Like, what are you
Hey,
like?
Right? Oh, fine. The Catholic Church is going to pay me so little.
This is one of those questions where I am legitimately down the middle and I have no balance.
Hey, as the host, you can request extra rebuttals.
Okay, I'm gonna need one more rebuttal from Pat, please,
and Sean,
and Andy. Why not?
Wait, I think Hokusai also does. You know, it's vibrant and he can do a lot of minimalist stuff, and it can fit right in. It's not going to seem out of place, and you can. No, I'm sorry. That's. I'm
No,
currently,
I
trying to
think
look up more of the art.
you solidly gave me the idea of what you were getting at there, and I agree. So, Sean, give me one more.
I mean, again, we're just talking about the fact is like it's the same thing with like the live action. The perfect thing already exists, and I think that this style is already inhabited within the show, and that's what I'm selling you on, something that is going to like kind of is going to show you an elements of this world, that we've never seen before, and that's more.
All right, Sean, I get what you're getting at, and I like it, but I think that I understand Pat more in the traditionalist sense, and it feels better. I think that Pat gets the point here.
So many dicks.
I don't want any baby dicks in my avatars. All right.
Okay. Find me again. This is a psyop that's going on right now. Because Pat is the one that floated the baby dick thing. I didn't say nothing about no baby dicks. That wasn't my selling point. That was never my selling point.
I honestly, I thought Sean. I like Sean.
And we can't get them out. Okay.
We need to.
All right.
That's a bit of an
Let's
underhanded
move away
debate
from the baby
dicks. Yes.
Nobody
wants to agree with someone who gets associated with baby dicks.
Oh,
we got two rounds. We got 2 rounds left. Sean basically needs to knock these 2 out of the park to stay in the game. If he loses his next round, he loses.
You got to bring it, Sean. You got to bring it.
I'm doing my best. Let's go.
Here's the question. Wild card. Which is a better park? Which is the better park? Disneyland or Disney World?
Disneyland.
Wait, sorry, my bad.
I was about to say that seems off-brand.
That is not the damn question.
That was like, what the fuck just happened?
Are they not the same thing?
My apologies.
This is the real speed round wild card. Not my cabbages. Was the cabbage vendor a victim? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, Sean, tell us about it.
Absolutely. I mean, like for the most part, it was mostly a bunch of like these super powered like and or highborn, like this is class warfare all day. You know what I mean? Like this guy is just trying to make a living. He's trying to go about ways for whether it was the check-in at Ba Sing Se where he got like his stuff obliterated by like a bear or something like that, or like they're literally just like, oh, these are like too big or whatever, and they're sending them flying, or the hero of our show. He's just a bystander, and we just like to laugh at his misery. He's a victim 100%, like absolutely.
All right, Pat.
I'm curious what he was charging for those cabbages. Like, is he part of the capitalist fascist regime that they're fighting against? Is he, you know, like the oligarchs in Canada charging obscene prices for cabbages and just running around pissed off because he's not going to be able to, you know, live in lavishness because his cabbages are gone? Listen, I never trust a capitalist ever. And I think there was more going on with the cabbage guy than we know.
That is making us believe the cabbage vendor is Galen Weston's origin story. All right.
We're talking. This is pure conjecture. This is pure. I mean, frankly, like we're kind of grasping at straws here, like where it's like what we have literally seen. Let's look at the facts on the ground. And also, again, we're talking about him like as an oligarch. He's a fucking food truck vendor. Okay, like you are literally arguing against the working man in every single sense.
Oh my goodness, go for it, Pat.
I mean, we're in an agrarian situation. I don't think he's actually, because he's traveling. He's a wanderer. He's not planting those cabbages. He is not a farmer. He is earning money off of somebody else's labor by definition.
Man, as much as I want to give the middle finger to the Metro grocery chain right now, I think that Sean gets the point. That was
a hard sell.
Yeah, that is. Like, is he evil though? He could be evil. We don't know.
No.
I love it.
No. Like,
I love the cabbage guy.
Like you're turning into like Alex Jones. Like I'm just asking questions over, guys. Like we don't know about
the cabbages are turning
over here. I'm just like, he's part of the one nation. He's part of the one Fire Nation over there. Like, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
Pat. It looks like you're our winner.
Wait,
didn't I have two?
Yeah.
No.
I thought I had a chance to win this, but
no, unfortunately. No. There was actually the last round. I kind of miscounted my questions, but he already had a 2-point lead, and Pat just won that round.
I was hoping we were
So
going down to the
he's
wire.
won
That
the
was some good
game.
stuff.
No, Pat didn't win that round. Sean won that round.
Yeah.
Didn't Sean?
Did Sean win the round? I thought Pat won the round.
No, Sean
Sean
was
won that
advocating
round.
for Cabbage
That
Man.
the Cabbage guy was a capitalist. Like, come on.
Right.
Come
Okay.
on.
Sorry. All right. Well, listen. I'm gonna double points this, and it's a tie game, so we're gonna have a tiebreaker question.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah,
just-
we're
Entertainment rolling.
Let's give the
There
people
we
what
go.
they want.
They want.
They want a bonus question.
all right.
How big?
Hang on. Let me take this down because that's incorrect. And the speed round tiebreaker question
Oh my God, I'm
is
sweating. Speed round tiebreaker question. Who is Aang's better friend, Zuko or Katara?
Zuko.
Oh.
Who got it?
You got to tell me about it.
Okay, who got that?
They both said that.
They
That was
both
down
said
the
it.
line.
I just heard Pat more, but I was looking at Sean and he
Oh,
said
did you guys both say Zuko at the
they
same
both
time?
They
said
both
it at
said
the same
Zuko.
time.
It's
They
a-
both said
it's
at
a-
the same time.
Oh
It's a-
my God.
Mirror finish. I mean,
Okay. Do we want to just flip a coin?
I'm fine with
Let's
that.
do rock, paper, scissors
okay.
because it's visual.
Sure.
Alright.
With it.
Let's go.
Rock,
One round.
Go
paper,
1, 2,
scissors.
3, go. Right.
1, 2, 3, shoot. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
They both went
Oh,
paper,
see,
boys.
paper. What the fuck is this?
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Rock! Come on, Rock over here.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Rock! Oh my God! These guys have the same
3,
brain.
Shoot.
Rock!
Oh, he goes for paper. Back in Zuko.
All right.
Zuko. Pat gets Zuko.
I'm surprised that could have gone on forever. That's
I know, right?
I was surprised at how twin-brained you
I've
guys
met
are.
a worthy
That's what I'm saying,
opponent.
dude. We're like, yeah. No, it truly is a Pat Sean right now.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Okay. 30 seconds, Pat.
So I think arguably, we're talking about the original series, but in Legend of Korra, we see how their friendship has grown, and we know that Zuko and Aang grew together and kind of forged a world, and they challenge each other in a way that a real friend needs to. They grew together. I think Katara and Aang were a little bit codependent at times, and they had that weird will they won't they romance, and I think it was more of a hindrance, and I think the growth that happened between he and Zuko was far more important to the friendship.
All right, Pat. Great answer. Sean, give us a rebuttal.
I mean, like, the thing is that I don't think that Aang would have been in a position to be able to be friends with Zuko if he did not have to foster that relationship and grow in the ways that he did with Katara. I mean, like, literally, like, the person that busted him out of the ice fucking block. I mean, like, he's still no Katara, no Aang. I mean, there's no question about that. I mean, like, we literally don't break him out. He's still in ice if that happens. And it's through their willingness to respect one another, to respect his peers, that young kids could be his teacher. He couldn't do that with Zuko if he didn't have Katara.
All right, Pat, hit us with your best shot.
Well, I think the difference was that getting him out of the ice block, that was pure happenstance. They just happened upon him. That was pure chance. With the choice, he had to make the choice to befriend Zuko and to deal with a lot of their past and deal with a lot of trauma and issues.
I mean, again, the journey of the Avatar is one that is also fostered within their friend group and their family. I mean, like, yes, it is. You could maybe say that it's circumstantial, but like the journey that it took to get him to the point where he could invest in that world, and into being able to get that last thing with Zuko, that's with Katara.
All right, Andy, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like Sean's arguments are also supporting Pat's arguments at the end of the day. You're basically
honestly, I was kind of riding with Sean, especially whereas I was really with the Zuko thing, like everyone was here. He just made me think about it in the terms of that you would need Katara
in a different way.
I understand it.
The things that Sean was saying to me made me feel like it was supporting the friendship of Zuko.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay,
where it was like, I don't know. How do you feel? You're on Team Sean, are you?
So I feel like Zuko was, especially if you've watched the show, I feel like that when you read that question, it was probably the most obvious answer you want to pick immediately. And then I think Sean did a good job at rebuttaling his side, even though he instantly already probably had the Zuko
almost feel
mindset
like-
in there.
I almost feel like me and you need to do rock, paper, scissors right now to decide
Yeah,
who wins.
Maybe is that what we want to do?
Listen,
I feel like that's wrong.
We could go totally like Avatar, and we could just take the power of the points away, and we just call it a draw.
We call it a tie.
Everybody wins. I win
Everybody
even,
wins?
and I wasn't
Avatar,
even
baby.
competing. All right.
I don't know. I'm joking. I mean, like whatever you guys want to do is cool.
No, I think
You're the real judge, Steve. So
I
you
know.
I'm just a guest.
I think that like Pat went with the obvious answer, and he supported the obvious answer very well.
Very
But Sean also kind of broke it down a little bit in a way that I liked. But he also his arguments were supporting Pat's arguments, so I have to go with Pat. I'm sorry, Sean.
Got a winner.
Well done. And it's awesome. You didn't have to change the fucking headline too. That's sick. Like the fix was in. I can see it from a mile away. I'm going full.
To be fair, I've got banners prepared for all three of you. Okay, so.
Okay, I got you.
Man's
What, you don't have one for
There you
me?
go. Man's a professional. That was a good
Right.
time, guys. I really,
Dude, like again,
Yeah.
sudden
That was
death,
crazy.
That thing, that was amazing.
Like,
that was
the
I
first
was like,
time.
how long is this going to
Even
go
through
on?
network lag and everything. I mean, Jesus, that was impeccable. That was impeccable.
Oh my god.
All right. World Mind, my prepared speech is not here. So if there's something I need to say,
There's no prepared speech. This is where I kind of hop
Just
in and take
go from
over.
the heart.
Thank you so much for hosting the show, Stephen Waters. Let's give a little applause for Stephen. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Hey,
Thanks, guys.
hungover, bad notes, ill prepared, and he still crushed it. You
I
know
think
what
we
mean?
did
Like,
okay. I liked it. It was really fun. Yeah.
The man is a hard-working talent. With that being said, though, we're gonna take this moment to thank everybody else that was here. So winners first. Pat, tell everybody about you. Where can they find you? What's your victory speech?
I'm just here for fun and to nerd out. I love discussing nerdy shit with other people. It's great. I'm setting up a streaming channel, The Eldritch Abbot, on Twitch. So that should be up hopefully soon. I'm a hardworking man in the movie industry right now, but I do a lot of creative work from time to time online. So find me on Twitch or find me on Instagram at PatKingHFX. And if I like the look of you, maybe you'll get behind the private wall. We'll see. But I'm going to build up the Eldritch Abbot as a creative outlet soon. So keep an eye out for that. And hopefully I can come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely have a seat at the Trivial Debates table. You did an excellent performance. Sean Tanktop, where can the people find you at?
So you can find me on the YouTubes right now, doing commentary and reactions for a bunch of shows. It's going to be a very, very busy summer. You hit us up on Sean Tanktop. That is youtube.com/Sean Tanktop. And then we have that. You can find us there. You can find us on Patreon. There's a ton of fucking exclusive shit over there. We're going to be covering we're currently covering right now. We're just wrapping up Shogun. We're also doing Fallout, which has been incredible. We're doing a really interesting reaction series where a friend of ours had watched House of the Dragon and had never seen the original Game of Thrones. And so they're going back and watching that, kind of having a little bit more of the I don't know, you just have a better idea of the established world, and it's a really interesting kind of perspective on it. And then also we have, we're firing up The Bear. We're going to be doing The Boys season 4 coming up in June. So we have a ton of different stuff happening on the channel. If you fuck with any of that stuff and you like a lot of a lot of dick and fart jokes, but also with some good meaty commentary just about media and about kind of the stuff that we're all sort of getting down on. That's where you can definitely find that on our channel, and that's what we got for you for sure.
Nothing.
And again,
good
thank you guys
meaty
very
dick
much
and
for having
fart
me. By the way, this
joke.
has been a blast.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
No, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I know it was a shot in the dark to reach out to you. I've been watching your channel since the COVID eras. I got on during the Airbender days.
That was when I found Avatar. We watched Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time during COVID, and the show itself was was like our little Uncle Iro, like you know, because we were all bartenders and we all had no work, and we just got to like dive into this show, and it took care of us in a way that I couldn't, you know, it's hard to put into words. So again, yeah, it was my pleasure to be a part of it for sure, and I thank you very much for it, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When I thought about this particular episode and this theme, you were one of the first people I thought I have to invite Sean. Hopefully he says yes. You did.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you so much.
That means a lot.
And last but not least, my dear, good and best friend Andy. I play a lot of Xbox with you. Can you tell the fine folk where we might be able to find you and anything you might be working on?
Yeah, so right now I'm in a band, me and my good buddy Peter Kane, and his girlfriend Liz Ridgely. She went to school out in Chicago over by Sean there for music, and we've been doing this for about 3 years now, or 2 years actually. We're neo jazz soul, and we're actually still really in the format of getting everything together and creating a page for ourselves. And we finally got our band as far as drums and bass and guitar and keys all locked in very solidly, and now we're trying to do some studio stuff. So at the moment there's nowhere really you can find me besides that All Soul Baby on Instagram, but if you do that, I guarantee you within the next year and a half you're going to see some real heat coming to your fucking screen, because we got a lot of stuff cooking, and it's just we live and breathe jamming, and we're a tribe of souls that just want to connect with other people and want to spread that same positive energy that we have, and we really view ourselves as an outlet, and we think that people can soak it up. So I think in this next year and a half, you guys you'll be seeing us for sure. So right now, nothing too crazy besides that All Soul Baby on Instagram, but follow it and keep up to date, and you'll see something. I guarantee you that.
I'm following it right now. I'm
Yeah,
getting on there. You sold me, bud. You sold me.
Done.
There you go.
Done.
All
yeah.
Soul Baby on
Appreciate it,
Instagram.
guys.
Yeah, no, that's the whole this whole mission behind Trivial Debates. Just good times, getting the community together, and just trying to bring people in. And this is sort of an open forum debate show. I don't, you're all walks of life are welcome on this show, and I try to encourage everybody to take part. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much, gentlemen. So with that, I'm going to do my little roundup, my little wrap up. I don't know if you guys know, but we're a part of a little federation, a united federation of podcasts, Steven and I. We have a handful, if you will, of all sorts, like Live Long and Podcasts, the Star Trek Central of our corner of podcasts. If you love Star Trek reviews, radio, theater, deep dive interviews, we got it over at Live Long and Podcasts.
I play Deanna Troy on every episode.
He's an excellent Deanna Troy over on the radio. We've got X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show with hosts Davin Skellhorn and Andre Mayette, where they, for the past almost 5 years, have been reviewing all the episodes of X-Men, the animated show, and now they're on X-Men 97. So check that out for your weekly reviews of X-Men. Andre Mayette is also host of Graphic Histories. It is a one-on-one interview podcast. He had Grant Morrison on recently, which is a pretty awesome interview. If you know Grant Morrison's work, check him out. And then we also got Super Mario Brothers Show podcast, where they talk about Survivors and Big Brother and reality shows and a little bit of everything else. Good time. I'm not too much into the realm of reality, but Dave Mater and Jameel, they are. We actually had Jason from Hey Did You See This One, who is the co-host of Stevens. He was on that podcast. Mm-hmm. We have Hold Up a Movie podcast. That's the podcast that I'm a part of with Davin. We talk about 3 movies within a quick time frame. We're doing bicycle films. We're doing Pee-wee's Big Adventure, The Triplets of Belleville, and Premium Rush. We'll be doing that podcast tomorrow.
Yeah. Wait, is that who is it? Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Michael Shannon? Like,
yes,
like a messenger biker.
It's a great film.
It was
good.
really good.
It's actually good. The
Yeah,
trailer
it is.
had
It's
me
a good
dying
film.
Laughing, like, just because it's Sirius has a heart attack, Michael Shannon, and we're like biking on a fixie or whatever the fuck it was. It was just, I don't know, but apparently it's good.
Yeah, it's a great film. Yeah, definitely worth the watch.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna be reviewing it. I know I'll probably be in big favor of it. Davin's probably gonna shit all over it because he loves to shit on the movies I pick.
He hates bikes.
He hates bikes too. Yeah.
Bikes.
And
yeah,
guys, I want you all to watch Pirates of Dark Water And get that.
You
Yo,
sold me
I'll
so hard on
back
that
you
show. I
100%.
want to look it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember Pirates of Dark Water as a kid. I
Thank
used
you.
to watch it, and when you picked that, I was like, yes, it's a great choice. So excellent choice.
Yes.
Also,
Get
what
back
was
to me
that
and we will
book?
talk about it personally.
Oh,
Yeah, what
the
was-
book it was but I got it right here. Hang on. The book was
Gormenghast. Yeah. It's a
Gormenghast.
trilogy. The first book is called Titus Grown.
I'll admit, when I came up with that question, that was just to get some book suggestions.
No,
Yeah,
I
no,
was glad
you
Steven had
got
heard
me
of it,
interested.
'cause
You got
yeah.
me interested in that book.
Oh
real
man,
quick.
I was like, am I so esoteric that like three
No,
of the
no,
things I
I-
think no one's ever heard of? Like
I'm deep.
come on.
I'm deep down in like the dark illustration world. I love it so.
Hell
hard.
yeah, yeah.
Speaking of
Also-
dark illustration worlds, real quick, we got the Hellbound podcast, a horror movie podcast with Alex Blackburn and Michael Chan, where they talk about all things horror. And Eamon on Track, the music podcast, where Eamon will review an album with his guests, and they talk about all that whole album. Remember, it's Eamon, not Eamon, as Jason likes to pronounce it over at Hey Did You See This One, which I don't have a banner for.
What?
So I can't. Yeah, I asked him. He hasn't sent me one, so I should have. So I'm gonna put up this one. Hey, did you see this one?
Whoa,
Movie podcast.
Hey, that's me. How'd you get that photograph of me?
Yeah, that's our little roundup. That's our little spiel of podcasts over at the United Federation podcast. Again, if you like movies, check out HGC One and Hold Up a Movie podcast. We're going live tomorrow and talk about those bike films. Triplets of Bellevue is a trip, and I can't
It's
wait
great.
to talk
That
about
movie's
it.
wild.
movie,
That movie's,
yeah.
that movie's
It's
sick as
so
fuck.
wild.
Great
It's
fucking
so good.
soundtrack too. You know what I mean?
I've
Like,
been banging it for the past 2
Boom,
weeks.
don't, baby. Yeah, dude, that shit's great. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
thought about that in so many years.
Right.
Maybe I should watch it tonight.
Yeah, you should, and then join us for the podcast tomorrow.
Not
All right, well, that's it. I'm gonna wrap us up. Thank you again, everybody, for your time, your patience, and your excellent debates. Join us for the next episode. Hopefully, it'll be soon. I don't know, but it'll be there.
It'll be.